Hey everyone, it's Charlie from the Tranny Shop, and so if you watched my last video, you know that I replaced this here water pump and I installed this here electric fan. And in case you're wondering, everything's been running just fine, just great. This whole setup here rocks, it's not overheating. I think it's actually running a little bit cooler. I'm not losing any water. Everything's good, everything's fine, except for that. That's so scary it could have been a Halloween costume. Let me tell you something here. If my mom was alive to see that, the first thing out of her mouth would be, your father was alive. And yeah, I know, if my father was alive to see that, yeah, he'd have some very politically incorrect things to say to me, so let's do my late parents are proud, and let's fix this. Okay, so here's all the parts I should need to solve this problem. We got a fancy water bottle that I picked up at the Walmart for like $1. We got a couple of hose clamps that are a little too big, but I can trim them down. And we got some screws that'll bolt these to the radiator support. Also, I got a couple of riv nuts in my toolbox over there. That'll go in on the back side of those. So everything will be all nice and semi-professionally installed and look nice. And hey, I got the 3 major stores represented here. I got Walmart, AutoZone, Home Depot. 3 places I shop a lot at, 3 places well, actually 2 out of 3 of those places I totally fucking hate. Alright, the old bottle is off, and I'm thinking I'm going to put the new bottle right about there. Right about there. That way I have plenty of room to get the hose over to it and get at it, and it's out of the way of everything. By the way, if you're going to do this job yourself, this bottle I'm using is plastic. I actually was originally looking for a metal one, but then I saw this one, I'm like, hey, I like purple. And eventually, this truck is going to be purple. So why not start getting some purple on it? Anyways, if you're going to do this with, it's like you can do this with almost any bottle. If you want to use like your favorite alcohol bottle, your favorite energy drink bottle, whatever, you can do that. Just if it's a glass bottle, like I was considering using a rum bottle, might want to line those hose clamps in like rubber. Like from an old hose or an old serpentine belt or something. That way it doesn't like I don't know, I'd worry about breaking the glass, but that's just me. But yeah, I'm thinking right there is going to be a good place for it. So I'm going to, off camera, I'm going to mark that off and drill a couple of holes and put in a couple of riv nuts. Alright, there they are. The riv nuts are in. See them right there. By the way, that's a 5/16 hole that I drilled for them, and they're 1024 riv nuts, in case anybody's keeping track, in case anybody's wanting to do this themselves and want to know what I used, so you can know what you use. Alright, moving right along. Alright, so these hose clamps are way too big, and they look fucking stupid. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to trim them off. I'm going to leave a little bit of excess because I do still have to run a couple of screws through them. And I'm also going to mark the backside and punch the hole in them. But, yeah, that's just way too big. That was actually the closest AutoZone can get for me, too. I asked for something that'll go between, like, about 2.5 and 3 inches. And, yeah, the best they could do me was 4. Not cool, AutoZone. Not cool, but I'm working with it. Alright, so now we got our clamps in place. They've been trimmed down. I cleaned up where I cut them off. And punched a hole in the back of them here, and that's a 1024 screw holding them in place. And like I said, on the back side, that's a riv nut. Well, you already saw me put in the riv nut. So these are holding on here pretty secure. They're pretty even. They're pretty close. Try to get them about the same. So now it's just put the bottle in there, and oh, that's the next thing you're going to see. Bottle's in place. I think it's looking pretty good. I just need to punch a hole in that cap for the hose. And yeah, it does look like I got those hose clamps pretty close to being even. Alright, so there it is, all finished. In case anybody needs to know, that's about a 9/16 hole. I did have to ream it out a little to get the hose to fit right. And back here is a little 1/8 hole that I punched in to let the air out for when water comes in here. So, you know, it's going to displace some air, so that's why that hole's there, is to let that air come out, but to keep the water down in here. So there's that. Looking at this, I really have to say, Mountain Dew or a Gatorade bottle would have been a great idea, because that's about what antifreeze looks like, is either Mountain Dew or Gatorade. So there's just an idea for you. I'm liking this bottle that's in here right now. Now it's just a matter of getting the rest of the truck to match it, which is a long project. But there it is. I'm happy with what I've got here. It works, it does its thing, and it wasn't too terribly bad of a job. I will say this, punching holes in these hose clamps, the fucking stainless steel that these are made of is some strong shit. Holy fucking shit. Dulled a few drill bits doing that, but happens. But other than that, that's it. And like I said, this will work with just about any bottle, can, whatever you like. Like I said, if you're going to use glass, I would line these with rubber on the inside just to be a little bit more on the safe side. That's just me. I thought of, like I said, I thought of putting a rum bottle in here, and then I'm like, you know, glass in my engine compartment may be a bad idea. This is plastic, so it's thick plastic, but should be good. Should work okay. If not, it only cost me $1, and if I need to get something better, I'll get something better. So, there's that. Alright, thanks for watching, everyone. Love you much. Live long and prosper. I'm out of here.